it was a great day. I was impressed with, there were 28 at the big table.
This event that we have today has been designed primarily by the Center for American Progress and a number of allies, particularly Senator Harry Reid and Mr. Boone Pickens, and a variety of the remarkable coalition that we have around the table.
I'm sitting next to Vice President Gore and Secretary Chu on the other side. You know, both of those were Nobel winners. Pretty good. I mean, sit between two Nobel guys.
And in order to lead the world, we have to restore the momentum and the can-do spirit that Boone Pickens exemplifies this. Let's go and let's do this.
Boone Pickens and I were talking on the way down here about how one of the best things that's happened in the last couple of months, with these miserable last 4 or 5 months, is that this coalition has held together and intensified its conviction in the face of falling prices for oil and coal.
It was the plan that I laid out in July of 2008. I mean, it held together. The plan held together. The grid, the renewables, wind and solar, and the natural gas for the transportation fuel. All of them were discussed at that table, and I think everybody felt that there was a part in the energy plan for this year that it would include all parts of the Pickens plan.
70% of the oil that we use comes from places like Venezuela and the unstable Middle East. Last year we spent about $500 billion, $500 billion, giving money to these countries for oil.
We have to have an enormous vision about this as we go out to the American people to talk to them about it, because there's always some reason why it isn't in someone's interest to get this done, whether it's local, state, or at the federal level.
We've got to reduce dependency on foreign oil. I mean, the grid, sure. The renewables, sure. I mean, those are set, I think, in the stimulus plan, and it's going to happen. But this is the time to solve the foreign oil problem.
So we've got to redouble our efforts, as Boone noted, to end our dependence on oil by building the infrastructure for delivery of clean domestic alternative transportation fuels. We need a fresh approach. We need a plan, as my friend Mr. Pickens says, and that's why we're here to talk about that.
Friends of ours like Boone Pickens have done an excellent job with the Pickens Plan to bring an additional focus not only on how to bring renewables into the marketplace, but the reality of finally addressing the issue of our dependence on imported oil. I appreciate that oil is a world commodity, and I appreciate that we'll probably always consume some, but we can make a huge difference, and in fact we should make a huge difference in the amount of other sources of energy that we put into the automobile.
We're going to have this Pickens Plan March coming up April 1st through 3. Now, the march isn't going to call for everybody to come to Washington. It will be a virtual march, and we will be pouring emails and faxes into Washington and saying, you know, that they're on board and this is all going to happen and all for the right reason.
And this is a statement I thought I'd never make, that I can end my statement by saying, I agree with everything that Boone Pickens said. And I never thought I'd say that.
I've thought in the past what we've missed were politicians that would quit reading the polls and read the people and see what was best for America.
There have been very few meetings of this kind that I've gone to over the years that had as much consensus and good spirit as this one. And I just think keeping the momentum going and getting this thing really over the top, I'm really optimistic and hopeful. Thank you.
While we're depending on the president and his cabinet and others to figure out how to get us a new post-Kyoto climate change deal, while we hope and pray the Congress won't get pressured out of giving us a really tough cap-and-trade system, the rest of us need to show that this can work.
We believe that renewable energy, wind energy, can be exactly what President Obama said it can be. We can power 25% of our electric grid from wind, but we need some problem solved, some barriers removed, and that's what we talked about today, specifics on how we remove those barriers, what kind of long-term commitment like the renewable electricity standard needs to be in place to send that signal to business. And there is an amazing consensus that everybody needed to work together towards that end.
I knew the story had to be told to American people that we had a energy crisis in this country. So here we are, 40 years with no energy plan. And now, due to the leadership of Senator Reid and Speaker Pelosi and President Obama, we're going to have an energy plan for America. And that, you know, I'm a guy 80 years old, and I saw it all the way. 40 years, no plan. I always wanted a plan, and now I'm going to see a plan.